Hello everybody. So we are back again. If we recall back about a week, I made a start on this. We got as far as this little area here, a little bit of almost a plaza style thing going on here. We've got a large river plains based enclosure here with quite a few herbivores in it. Just a mixture of all of the above, really. We've got your bigger ones like your brachiosaurs, and then you have some dryos, you've got some edmontosaurs, some struffies somewhere. So it's just a big mix and match. Got some parasaurolophus too. We've then got a smaller enclosure here, which jumps around into this bit here, which is going to mean that we cut this part off here eventually, meaning that this will be all of this, well, all of this square space here will belong to this enclosure here. At the moment in here I believe we've got Pachycephalosaurus and we have Stegosaurus. And then we've got a bit of an odd-shaped enclosure here. That's because I didn't plan out the paths very well. And in this one we have a number of ceratopsids along with some ankylosaurs. The plan for today is I've already created a bit of a plan of what I'm going to do here. Now it's going to be a few aviaries. I'm going to do one sort of bigger one and then two small ones, and then I'm going to focus on getting another plaza built just in this section here, and then we can look at expanding towards the carnivore section, which is going to be over in this area here, and then possibly the marine section, which will be down there somewhere. But I also want to build a little bit of a plaza here. That's why I've left this space here. In fact, no, we'll build the plaza in this section here. And then we'll have probably some form of enclosure here, if I'm honest, because that makes the most sense. It'll only be a small enclosure, but it'll be an enclosure nonetheless. So let's make a start on that. Let's place down the aviaries. What we're going to do is we're going to use the Jurassic World ones. Going to make sure that we get it relatively centre. That didn't work out. It's a little bit better. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll adjust the path if we need to. For all of these, however, we are going to need separate hatcheries, which isn't too big of a deal. Just go in like that. And then we'll pop another one on this side. And we'll pop another one on this one. I've not yet decided what we're going to put in there, but we will decorate and make sure that whatever we do put in there works in there. We need an aviary viewing gallery. Let's choose this one. We'll put it on the other side. It gives us plenty of view on that side. We'll do the same. This one. Same for this one. So let's connect all these paths up. We only need small paths for this bit. And then I'm gonna attempt to try and path off the rest of this. So it's just one giant path that goes all the way around. I don't know how well that's going to work, but we'll definitely give it a shot. What we will do as well is... we're not getting any congestion at all throughout the park, which is a good sign. So we might not need to do as much as we first anticipated. In fact, do I make this all one area? I mean, it is possible. I just need to sort of block it out. Is that as close as I can get? Appear to be. Doesn't look too bad, in all fairness. It could have been much worse. That's probably going to have to do, in terms of as close as I can actually get that to the main block of buildings. I mean, this game's quite funny with its constraints, so as far as I'm concerned, that's going to have to do. I have got some food cooking at the minute, so if I do suddenly run off, that's why. But it shouldn't be for too long. Feeling this is going to mess up. Okay, that's not looking horrendous. I've definitely created worse things on this game. It's quite pleasant background music, actually. And I know it's only a builder game, so it's not going to be like high octane music, but it's quite relaxing. So that's actually worked much better than I thought it was going to. I mean, it doesn't look even. It's fixable. But then again, it's not going to look too even because this itself is smaller than that. Looks a bit better like that, but I'll go with that. Anyway. I'm not going to be able to do that for this one because I purposely made that circle a lot smaller. I could get away with making this an enclosure here actually. So let's see. For a medium electric fence. Because it's quite a lot of space that's going somewhat unused if we don't make use of the actual space itself, so I'll see what I can do. Could end up being able to fit some type of dromaeosaur in there. If it's in the area with the birds, let's see if we can get... I don't know whether we have them just yet, but we could see if a feathered dinosaur would be on the mix. Oh yeah, that's about the same size as this enclosure. Maybe a little bit smaller, but not by much. So I could definitely fit something in it. Failing that, we could go ahead and delete this path here and bring it all the way around. Yeah, you know what, we'll do that. We shall bring it the full length around. Because my thought process behind that is, realistically, you've got to try and make as much space as possible available. And I don't want to have to put anything in there to then have to change my mind about the amount of space because the requirements aren't met. Now that is a fairly large enclosure. So we'll quickly scoot back over to the hatchery and see what we can actually put in there. I reckon we could put an acrocanthosaur in there. 100%. The minimum population is 1. I reckon we could get away with 2. Albertosaur, very much the same thing. Allosaur, could. Carchodontosaurus. Could put Dilophosaurus in there. Although it's probably quite a big enclosure for some Dilophosaurus, so we won't. What else could we put in there? Could do a pair of Gigantosauruses. A pair of Majungas. Could do raptors. I'm gonna go with these guys like Majungasaurs, so we could cohabit them guys with the Majungas. Or we could do Majungo and Kano. You know what, we'll just go big. We'll go for a Carchodontosaurus. And we'll have random per egg on. We will once again nullify all the genes to make it a basic bitch, pretty much. And we'll pop those in there. Hopefully it pops out with 2 on the first go. I don't want to have to be trying to get another one sorted in. Let's... Where's the aviary hatchery? There it is. Let's have a look what we can put in here. Pterodactylus, Dimorphodon, Merodactylus, Pteranodon, Tapejara, and Tropognathus. We could go with Pteranodon in the big one, because those guys are much bigger than the other guys that are there, so we'll put Pteranodons in here. We'll modify these guys a little bit. Go for a random per egg and we'll change all these out. And then we will pop over to this one. They don't like any other species, so we'll put Pterodactylus in this one. I don't see why not. And then we'll put these guys in. I've done that completely wrong. I needed to modify that first, because we don't want boring skins, so we'll modify those guys, and we definitely don't want them traits. We can only do 3 at a time. What is their minimum population? their minimum is 3. So we will begin another batch of eggs for those guys. And what is their minimum population? Their minimum population is 1. Those guys should be alright, I presume. These guys can disappear. Oh, God. It's only other species, so it doesn't really matter. We'll go with that. We'll incubate those guys. And then back up to here. Oh, I don't want to discard the eggs. Got that. And aggressive and nocturnal. Oof. That's an ouch. We'll try get a better bunch for these. We'll discard those eggs. Well, they filled out the area pretty quickly. So that size enclosure is a no-go for these. Probably should have worked that out beforehand. So let's pop that in there. We'll then move this to the middle. Move this to the middle once the actual dinosaur moves. You know, whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready. There we go. And that also means we're going to have to delete all of this. Which sucks. You should just be able to place down like tiles of path, not like have to draw it in, but you should be able to almost like the almost like you can in, I want to say Planet Zoo. You can build a you can build like an actual plaza, which is, I feel, what they need to add probably to Jurassic World Evolution 3. Now, if they're going to add anything, that's what I personally want them to add, because having a colour in the actual paths themselves just makes it sloppy. especially like not sloppy in a bad way, but just doesn't. I don't know. It just makes the actual paths look. It does make them look kind of sloppy. What we'll do is we will lower the radius for this. Place it down in this area here. These guys apparently need a lot of water. But this game loves its terrain constraints. Right, they also need a fish feeder. Go ahead and stick one in this area too. And they need sand. We will try and make it look as natural as possible. There's no guarantees, but we can at least try. So that's their enclosure done from a welfare aspect type point of view. What I'm actually going to do though is think it's in decorations. We can get every purchase. Like so. Let's just have a quick peek at these Carcharodontosaurus eggs. Still got the aggressive trait. That's not fun. Right, well, we'll try that instead. And we'll once again discard those eggs. Just give me 2 minutes. Need to go and stir the spaghetti. terribly sorry about that. Almost burnt my kitchen down. Which is always a good way to start life, but, you know, here we are. Right. Oh, we actually got some good eggs this time round. Let's have a look. Let's begin that task. Those will take, like, a few moments. And let's release these. From what I remember, these guys are only small, so they shouldn't need holy amounts of space.
What's a show without fireworks? That's what this next animal gives us. Aerial color and excitement. And check out that sail behind its head. Spectacular. Oh, I meant to say that this is a tapajara, one of our more interesting flying species. If you couldn't have guessed by
Never
now,
mind.
I'm
Needs
a fan.
more space.
I think you should be too.
Of course it does. Because why would one aviary ever be enough? And this is where it won't even let me click it where I want it. I want it there. It's not going to let me do it. Can I rotate? I mean, what are you meant to be? You're the... We'll get rid of you. It's not going to let me. Okay. Well, that's a bit fucked. Looks like we'll just have to bite the bullet and go to this side. Which it now won't let me do because there's a fucking dinosaur in the way. Move! I don't know where you are. Move. Thank you. And then we'll just have to make the path do a little bit something more like this. That'll do. Yeah, it still works, why not? Release. And then select eggs, we'll do 1, 2. Yeah, why not? 5 of those guys should be more than enough.
Welcome a pteranodon to the park.
Apparently these guys still don't have enough area. Excuse you. What? Explain yourselves. You're the smallest birds in the game. How do you not have enough fucking space with 2 aviaries? This game just knows how to mess with people. Just do it to there. And around, and then turn off the curve. And can you? We'll do that. Sure, doesn't look as good, but you know. Now they've got enough area, but just so these guys are just picky. Let's all. Mate, you've got shallow water. What the fuck are you chatting shit about? Like, this game is unbelievably picky with where it allows you to play stuff. It's actually unreal. Right, are you guys sorted now? You guys are sorted. Cool. Okay, let's see what these guys need. I imagine much more space. Yeah. On that note, I reckon what we do is we just make this, because I was going to make it so that the Pteranodons had the bigger area anyways, because, you know, they are a staple dinosaur in the franchise, let's be honest. Are you joking me, game? There's a fucking dinosaur in you, you can still get... This game is infuriating sometimes.
We can't get in there. We'll send the drone.
Where's that last one? There it is. You don't want to move out of the way? Fine. Get fucking tranked.
Assigning a drone. Task received.
This game's somewhat of a joke with its space mechanics, isn't it? Like, why you wouldn't be able to build an extra add-on to the Avery because of a dinosaur is beyond me. Well, they're all out of the way now, so let me place it down. Why has it just done that? What is wrong with the pathing system in this game as well? I hope that's something else that they sort out between this and Evo 3. Okay, so you've now got enough space, which is absolutely fine. You guys like rock and water. And food. Okay, let's get some fish feeders in there. Pop. And let's paint some rock. I say we go overboard with the rock a little bit. Why not? From what I remember, these guys don't necessarily need any grass anyways, so it should be fine. Right. Let's also get some actual rocks in there. We need to go to foliage, is it? Potentially, no, it's not right. Environment. Create a little bit of a rock pile over there for them, why not? Okay, so gigas should be ready now, which they are. The carcass even, not the gigas.
Acknowledging asset collection request.
Not making gigas just yet. We'll wait for these guys to be delivered. Hopefully it won't take too long.
Asset has been collected. Transportation underway. Delivery complete.
Now, stay with me. This dinosaur is called a Carcharodontosaurus. Talk about a mouthful, right? And seeing that this animal is an alpha predator, its mouth is usually full of the slow, the weak, and the inattentive. Hence the reason I'm not getting near it. You, on the other hand,
Asset has been delivered.
Now that they've both been delivered, let's have a look at what these guys need, shall we? So, they're still expanding their territory, but it looks like they're going to have an absolute abundance of it. They've got 2 in with them at the minute. Two seems to be enough. I imagine they could get away with maybe a smaller dinosaur in there. Yeah, they can have scavengers in there. So we could put some compies in there as well, just to try and make it a little bit nicer for them. Let's have a look. There's not really anywhere to forest that doesn't cut off line of sight, so we're just gonna have to bite the bullet and just go for that, I suppose. They also need water, obviously. It's a living animal. What we'll do is we'll put a bit of water down here, just so they actually have a reason to go down to this area. And what I'm actually going to do is, when I can figure out my buttons. Make it look like the rivers are actually joining on. Obviously there's this path that goes all the way through, so I can't make them join directly. But something like that just gives a bit of immersion, I suppose. Do it the same at that side as well. So this is just like one giant lake almost. Have these guys actually come over to this side yet? He's going to be very thirsty. Quite nice colours though, I'll give them that. They need some prey items, so we will go for unchained goats. And that's fulfilled that. So they will expand the territory down towards where the actual, I don't even know what you want to call it at this point, where the water is eventually, because they'll go looking for water. Oh, he's about to start a hunt. Is it? Yeah. Nom-noms. So, on that note, I wonder if we do a second carnivorous enclosure on this side of the aviaries. Have it come down towards this sort of area here. I mean, we won't make it overly huge, but we will increase the size of the fence, because I know what I want to put in here. And sticking with the sort of Carcharodontids family, we're going to go for a Giganotosaurus in this enclosure here. Well, we'll go for multiple. But they're going to be in this enclosure, which is what I'm trying to get at. I think for this park I turned off the whole dinosaurs can escape side of things in the sandbox settings, so shouldn't be too much of an issue if they do have a higher security rating than the 4. That'll do, Because what I'm going to do is place down a viewing gallery on this side here. Okay, so the car cars have gone down that side. I'm going to have to close off this enclosure ever so slightly, so I can make a viewing platform here. Otherwise I'm never going to be able to increase the actual rating of the park, which is fine because at the end of the day it's a sandbox park. You don't need a rating overall, but the rating's just nice to let you know whether you're doing a decent enough job. I presume these guys have got their own system going on there. 2 seems to be good with it, so we'll use that knowledge and incubate 2 Giganotosauruses. With that, see what happens.
En route to pick up the asset. Transit has commenced. Transporting asset. Asset has been transported. Asset transportation complete.
I've just realised I was muted. So, I'll go over what I was saying again. I'm going to use the viewing gallery in the middle here, because you can see both sides, so you can see the side where they'd be drinking, and then the side where they'd be eating. So in the middle of the enclosure I feel like it's quite a nice place for that. And instead of connecting this up to this bit, I'm going to connect it up to this instead, because I want to make sure that this strip here is just for amenities. So far, I think that's a nice little addition to the park. I'll get a bit more of it planned out off camera and off stream, because I've got a feeling that it's going to take a long time, especially in areas like this, where I'm going to be making little plazas and areas like this which I'm going to be filling out. That's all going to take quite a lot of time, so I'll be doing that part off camera for the most part, and then we will get on with building up this area here. How close is... would I be able to fit hotels on there? Small ones, yes. Would I be able to fit a large one? Oh, easy. So I could even go and do multiple hotels on this section here. And then, like, one. Yeah, so I could do 4 hotels there, because I'd probably be able to fit 2 more on the other side. Quite easily. So I could do a little hotel village here. Definitely want to do like your classic shopping sort of scenario here. I'll probably add in a few of the more entertainment-based things as well. So you've got all your amenities, and then can't remember where it is. Is it an attraction? It might be an attractions. Yeah, you've got your guest attractions as well. How big's the amphitheatre? Oh, wow, okay. Could definitely use that though. I reckon for the T-Rex paddock, I'll use this in. Either the T-Rex or one of the other big carnivores that'll only sort of tolerate one. Stuff like your gigas were known to be quite pack related, so your gigas, your carcharodontosaurus, stuff like that were very happy being in social groups. It's a funky noise. Whereas your T-Rexes and your, for example, like an Indominus Rex or an Indoraptor, you've got to keep those ones separate. I think you can have two T-Rexes actually. Come to think of it. I think I've done that on one of my other parks on this game. But yeah, we'll definitely get on with this bit next. Or next time, I should say. And we'll look at expanding downwards. But for the minute, we've got another 5 enclosures added in. We've got 3 flyers. And we've got 2 dinosaurs of the same sort of species grouping. Or subspecies, however you want to say it. So it's just a matter of time before we get it to the point where it's looking much better. That increases dinosaur visibility there. And then if we go on to the park rating, guest comfort obviously is quite low because we've not really focused much on those. But our dinosaur appeal is quite high. So overall, it's all going relatively well. We've got poorly configured amenities and stuff like that, but it's not really something I care about. In terms of like income, if we were doing this without unlimited cash, we'd be on a $412,000 dollar profit per minute, which is quite the definitely quite the achievement. Let's actually make a start on this area now. We'll get your shelter in there and your restroom next to each other. Like so. And let's sort out this area here. let's keep it that one as an aquarium. Why not? We'll do another one of these right next door, but we'll make it something like a bowling alley, maybe. Why is this such an arse? All I want to do is get it straight. There we go. Oh, it's not even straight. That's annoying. Let's go for mini golf. And then we'll do bowling alley as well. And then let's get some large amenities in here. We'll do a food one. We'll do a drink one, because apparently you can't eat and drink at the same place. Don't know who decided that. Obviously people at Frontier need to actually go to a zoo or something like that, and actually figure out that you can actually eat and drink in the same place. And to change that to a shopping one. Like so. I'm also going to do is make this bit here a seating area. It's not going to matter very much, all in all, if I'm completely honest. What is that? What was that doing? Never mind. It's not going to matter, to be completely honest. Because 9 times out of 10, it's just for decoration. But we'll go and do it anyways, because, why not? Kind of want something to block the way that looks as well, so... Kinda does the trick, go with that. It's not perfect, but have to do. Okay, well, we'll leave it at that for now. And we'll pick it up where we left off next time round. Hope you all have had a great day. It's been lovely and sunny here in Britain. Hope that weather has been the same for everyone. If you are watching on Twitch, thank you very much. I know Twitch chat has been quite quiet tonight, but I assume that's just midweek rumbles. If you're watching from YouTube at some point later on today, or in a few weeks' time, thank you. It's much appreciated. The support is always welcome. This is Ninja gonna be going dark, just like Bravo 6. Bye.